What's up, guys? Jeremy here, super excited. I'm the co-founder of BNBCalc, and we've got something for you, the 2.0 version that I'm going to demonstrate for you today. First, I'm going to do a buy-to-own example, so a property that we're looking to buy. Maybe it's one we already own. Maybe it's one that an investor is going to potentially buy, an investor partner, or maybe you're looking to manage that property for an investor. Either way, we're going to want to run the numbers and create a property report. So let's just do that. So first, what I did is I just found a pretty random house, and don't mind me, I'm going to make myself a little smaller. So I found this property in Cardona, Tennessee. Just, what I liked about it just from looking at it is it has this pool in the backyard, has no HOA, and I personally like all this space in the backyard. I know I would be able to make this special, and just for context, I myself have 25 Airbnb listings, pulling over $1 million a year, and I really think that, and what I enjoy doing is finding properties that have potential, and then running the numbers on the property and making sure they're going to hit the return metrics that I need. So found this property, I like it, for a multitude of reasons. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in to BNBCalc. It's going to come up with an estimate for the purchase price, beds, baths. We're going to want to make sure it's accurate. So this is what they're listing it at, $469,900. Doesn't mean that's what we need to even offer to them or anything. I mean, maybe we offer, let's say we offer $450,000. We're going to want to run it as if we're offering that price. It's a 5-bed, 4-bath. A lot of times, guys, with Airbnbs, just because it says 5-bed, 4-bath doesn't mean that's how many bedrooms you can have as an Airbnb, because a lot of times they count offices as bedroom, or a lot of times you can have an office that you do as a bedroom. So maybe this room right here, I think this has potential to be another bedroom, or maybe you can make that a game room. But either way, we're going to run it as a 5-4, but I also want to run it afterwards as a 6-4, if that makes sense. So 5 beds, 4 baths. I generally average about 3 people per room. So going to do 15 because 5 bedrooms. And now we're going to calculate. So first thing, what it did was it pulled this revenue number. And where it did that, I'm going to show you guys where this, to contextualize where this comes from. But what we have is we have a full revenue report. Down here, we have our seasonal revenue projections. So essentially, based off the properties in the area, how much can we expect to make each month? If we're doing short-term rentals, not every month is the same. It looks like in this market, the summer is the best, which is not surprising. So right here, we have Airbnb data, as well as an AirDNA revenue estimate. So just to give the full context, this right here is a percentile slider that is composed of properties that are in the area. So if you go down here, this is the comp set we're pulling from. So what it's doing is it's aggregating all these properties and saying these are the comps. Based off that, we think that 50th percentile, if you're in the middle of them, you do 75, which again, guys, that makes sense. If you go down here, you see all these, you kind of add them up. 75 is pretty average. If you have one's pulling in 100,000, one's pulling in 80,000, and then 40, 75 is kind of in the middle there. So that makes sense. But what we can also do is slide this over and say, all right, if we're better than 3 out of 4, 75, this is how much we expect to do. If we're better than 9 out of 10, this is how we expect to do. What I like to do is look and kind of see, do these properties have pools or not have pools? If I'm going to add a pool, if I have a pool, I only really want to look at the properties that have pools. So if you see, wow, these ones are doing a lot better. This one here is 179. This one here is 108. So based off that, I think that, if my property is going to do at least 75% of this list, if not, potentially higher. What I want to do also is I want to open these up and just look at them and say, where are these properties? And then how well are they doing? So this one, for example, is pulling in 108,000. If I go up here, I can find it. It looks to be like it's, you can go on a map on Airbnb and see exactly where it is. It looks like it's in this Countrywood area of town. Whereas this one, it looks like, we can check this cross-reference and kind of see where in town it is. And then we're actually going to make it on BNBCalc where you can see them side by side pretty soon. But yeah, it's not that far away. So I think this is a pretty good comp. I don't know if you guys agree. Leave in the comments if you agree or disagree, but looks like they're charging good rates. I personally like properties that have more reviews. Just again, this is like more just general, when I find a comp, I personally, I like when it has solid reviews. Like this one, has a couple more. This one has, a good bit more. So it looks like there's some pretty decent data. But all that being said, let's just say our property kind of falls into this range, or maybe we conservatively put it like 60 percentile. So what we do is we have an idea of revenue estimate, and what we want to look at is all of our expenses. So we have our operating expenses down here. You can see these are the monthly expenses. You can change them if you get a quote for insurance. You can see what that's going to cost. If you want an insurance quote real quick, you can just click this button here to get your insurance quote. They give that to you pretty quickly. So just for context, you could do that. But we have all these. So I would probably want to look into the area and see, is electricity higher, lower, just trying to get an idea. You can ask realtors, investors in the area to kind of figure that out. But let's say like electrical, let's say we put in a heated pool, it's more. Let's say, internet, sewer, this all looks pretty reasonable. Let's just be a little bit conservative here. Budget $50 just for miscellaneous. I don't know about the permitting in Memphis, so you guys definitely want to look that up no matter where you're looking. Figure that out. Insurance, this looks pretty reasonable to me. This all, landscaping, repairs, supplies. It looks like it's a pretty big yard, so maybe we go up on the landscaping. But this is all pretty reasonable. We have cleaning costs as a percentage of revenue, which is the way, that AirDNA is that full revenue, but then that includes cleaning costs, same as our Airbnb. So you're going to have to take out the cleaning costs. I generally estimate about 10%, but sometimes people, spend more on cleaning, spend less. For across my portfolio, this is pretty common. And then we have the Airbnb fees. So if you're taking things off market, you're doing direct bookings, maybe you aggregate, you say 0, there's no fees. But if you're, through Airbnb and Vrbo, they're going to charge you 3%. So you're going to want to put that in. And then this is if you chart or hire a property manager. So if you're paying a property manager, let's say whatever, 20%, you can see how much you're going to pay them per month. Vice versa, if you are a property manager, you can see how much you expect to make right here. So we're going to take this out and just save this, close this out, guys. We can also set our own presets. So you can create a preset if you have let's say you're looking at a market and the cost there, create your own preset for that market. But yeah, and then also down here, we have the mortgage and taxes. So we're going to assume this loan's at 7% interest, which is like kind of where things are at the day of recording this. We're going to do 20% down. And here, property taxes get calculated. You can see how we calculate that based off records, but definitely want to double check that. And here's PMI. If you're under 20% on a loan, oftentimes you have to pay PMI. So let's go down to 10 here. So under 20, you're going to see PMI gets added. In general, it's about 0.5%, but again, that might be loan specific. So just want to keep that in consideration. Let's go up to 20% here. Now PMI is gone. Again, that's just general rule of thumb for conventional loans. But again, you're going to want to get your own pre-approvals and figure out the specifics of your loan. So after all this, so now we have our revenue minus our operating expenses minus our mortgage, and we have what is our profit or cash flow. This is the cash in your pocket after these expenses. And then we can use that to contextualize the long-term investment and what that looks like. A big part of being an investor in real estate is that property appreciation. So, if we have appreciation at 5%, you can see how that changes. If we have no appreciation, we can see how that changes. We have 3% as our default, but you can take it out and see, all right, let's just ignore that. Let's look at the other investment aspects. So principal pay down is actually that one. That's when you pay the principal on the loan each month. This is the appreciation. So you can kind of look at the different variables. Like if we're looking at just cash flow, what does that look like? If we do a table, we can see the cumulative cash flows, like 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5. How much are we making each year? And what's our ROI? So what's our total return? We calculate our cash on cash return, which is the amount of cash we invest, or the amount of profit we make in year one divided by your initial cash investment. Our cap rate, which is our operating income here divided by the purchase price. A lot of institutional investors use that, as well as our total return on investment. So those are the three things we're calculating there. And then right here is our tax calculator. So we're going to make a demo directly just for the tax calculator because that's totally its own video. But there's this thing called the short-term loophole. You can read this tax guide to learn about it. But here is the estimated tax savings if you check off the boxes required for the short-term loophole. And down here, property overview. What's all the data we can find on the property? So here we're finding comps for home sales. We're finding the general info, the type of heating, the number of square feet, as well as we can even find who owns it and who bought it, which is pretty cool. So we give you a lot of information on that. This isn't necessarily 100% right, but according to records, how much is financed, what's the equity, mortgage balance, etc. So we also get that information. So that's it. So you can share this with another investor. You just click this share button. Bang, here you go. So you can send that out. It'll look just like this. You can also print it out. And if you guys are realtors, let's put in your branding. You can come to this page, put in all your information. So your name, your logo, background banner, your contact information. So you can do all that. So then when you send it to them, it has your information. You can also print it out and go drop it wherever, and again, your info will be there. So it's really nifty, really good for that. And yeah, hope you guys like this. Hope you guys enjoy the tool. It's helped me grow my portfolio. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to comment them. Let us know. We're continually trying to make this tool better and more helpful for you guys. So let us know what we can do. And yeah, guys, watch. I'll have more videos explaining different aspects of the app. So feel free to check those out as well.